Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and the other day, DICE introduced a new patch into Battlefield 4. They fixed a lot of the known issues. A big one was the netcode and trading problem that a lot of people have been experiencing, and it's fantastic that DICE is trying to go in and make these small changes just to improve the overall experience in the game. I think that is just phenomenal. But the downside of the patch is that it has introduced a couple of small bugs that can get a little frustrating. And one of them that has really gotten on my nerves is the new revive bug, where when you accept a revive, the message that says either accept or deny stays on your screen, and it doesn't seem to go away. Here's a great illustration. I'm running around. I'm definitely not on the ground dead or trying to accept the revive. I'm running around trying to kill people, but it's still on my screen. And it also appears to not just be an isolated issue. I saw people complaining about it in-game in the chat menu. I saw people complaining about it on the forums. And so I kind of took it upon myself to try to figure out if there was any way to work around it, because it is annoying. Like, if you were trying to kill people with this thing on your screen, it also eliminates your minimap and you have like no indicators. So it's a bug that needs addressing, but I wanted to see if there was any way that we could kind of work around it and eliminate it. And from what I've seen so far is that the way it's activated, or the way that the bug kind of appears, is that if you accept the revive instantaneously. So if someone shock paddles you, and then as they shock paddle you, you instantaneously press the button, there's like this weird half delay before the message pops up on your screen. And if you click the button before the message pops up, it stays on your screen as if you were still dead on the ground. And so if you are also experiencing this, just wait a half a second before you accept the revive. I know it's stupid. I know that a lot of you out there like know when you're getting revived, and so you're gonna spam the button so you're back in the action and you can get away from the people that are shooting at you. Like, that only makes sense. But if you are getting revived and you are having this issue, just wait a couple of seconds. I actually went into a bunch of servers and just let myself die and have allies revive me. It was terrible for my kill death ratio, but that appeared to be the only way to kind of get around the bug. If you guys have any idea on other ways to get rid of it, let everyone know down below in the comment section. But from my experience so far, that seems to be the only way. But as for the patch itself, they have made some phenomenal improvements, and probably the best change in my opinion is their improvements to the netcode. You guys have probably experienced this many times, where you trade with your enemy. You get into a firefight with someone and you both die at the same time. It's infuriating. It happened way too often before this patch. And apparently, DICE has gone in, made some slight tweaks here and there, especially for people that have a higher ping on the server. And so now, at least from my experience, I played for many hours since the patch has been released, I haven't had a single trade with an enemy, and that is a huge improvement over what it was before. Like, pre-patch, I would trade a good 4 or 5 times in a round. It was a nightmare, and every single time it happened, I wanted to punch my computer screen. It really was that frustrating. But now, at least as things stand, hopefully I'm not jinxing things and I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed, I haven't had a single trade, and hopefully that is going to continue. The SUAV has also seen some changes. This was introduced for the Recon class in the China Rising DLC, and you've also probably experienced this, where people would just sit in the backfield, they would sit on a ammo crate and throw these SUAVs all over the map and try to roadkill people. It was extremely effective. You would have people going like 50-3 because they would never die, and they would just sit in the backfield raking in the kills. It was unbelievable. And DICE realized that this was not what they intended, and they've made a tweak, so now whenever you roadkill someone with the SUAV, it's gonna blow up. If I remember right, that was the same problem that we had back in Battlefield 3 with the MAV. People were just sitting in the backfield and they were running into people with the MAV and raking in the kills. And they made the tweak back then as well, so that now the MAV does explode when you roadkill someone. But it's kind of like, didn't you just learn your lesson back then? Why wasn't this already in the game, you know, at the launch of China Rising? Maybe they just had too much on their plate once again with all the bugs and glitches, but I'm glad that they have made this adjustment. Another big change is that if you are a fan of defuse, which I know is not the largest portion of the Battlefield community, is that you will no longer randomly switch on over into spectator mode like halfway through the round. When Battlefield 4 first launched, I tried out defuse. I thought it could be a fun competitive game mode that I could play with friends, and it could be really exciting. And while it is, the one downside of it was that every single time I would do really well, like halfway through the round, it would switch me on over into spectator mode. I hadn't died, like nothing exploded around me. It just randomly switched you on over. And so I'm glad that DICE has finally gotten around to fixing this honestly game-breaking bug, because it literally takes you out of the match itself and puts you in the viewpoint of someone else, and you're not playing the game at that point. I think that is the definition of game-breaking. And so if you are a fan of defuse, or you've always wanted to get into it, but this has been something that has kind of been holding you back, it seems that DICE has made the appropriate change. But other than that, the patch mainly just consisted of trying to make the game more stable, trying to make sure that crashes don't occur as frequently as they used to, trying to make some small tweaks here and there. And so if you would like to see all of the changes, I will leave a link down below in the description to the patch notes themselves, and I highly recommend you go check those out. China Rising has also come out for all users, so even if you are not a premium member, you now finally have access to the new DLC content. So if you've been awaiting that, you've been wanting to play on the new air superiority game mode, I would recommend trying out those new maps. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.